Morning, everyone. This is Prabhakar Janikar. Welcome to the seventh Clean Food Certification Forum. Today, the topic is uh, a case study on Buchi Kombucha and their journey to clean and raw food certification. We'll be starting in another 5 or so minutes so that people can join us in. While we're waiting, I'm going to share the journey to the systems video.
Welcome to V.A.SHIVA. V.A.SHIVA is a product of my journey across East and West, science and tradition, ancient and modern, that brings you the science of systems so you can become a force for truth, freedom, health. V.A.SHIVA is a platform of revolutionary education, community building, and weaponry for unleashing local activism. My journey to V.A.SHIVA begins in the chaos of Bombay, where I experienced diverse religions, languages, castes, and in a small village that had no running water, no electricity, where my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practiced Siddha, an ancient system of Indian medicine over 10,000 years old. She observed one's face, the art of Samudrika Lakshanam, to understand a body's unique constitution, allowing her to deliver the right medicine for the right person at the right time. Watching my grandmother heal others, I was inspired to study medicine, but I was also aware of the corrupt caste system of India, which denigrated a human being, where my family were considered low-caste untouchables, where one's birth determined one's destiny. The grit and determination of my mother and father led them to get educated and to come to America, a 1 in a trillion event. Their actions inspired me to work hard and excel. While in 9th grade, I attended New York University in a computer science program, and subsequently, at the age of 14, was given a full-time job as a research fellow at what is now known as Rutgers Medical School in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. There I investigated the system of sleep using mathematics, computer science, and biology for sudden infant death syndrome. It was there in Newark where I invented email, when I was the first to convert every feature of the physical, paper-based inter-office mail system, including inbox, outbox, memo, carbon copy, blind carbon copy, attachments, into its electronic equivalent, a system which I named email, a term that I was the first to coin. On August 30th, 1982, I was awarded the first U.S. copyright for the invention of this system, recognizing me as the inventor of email. At that time, copyright was the only way to protect software inventions. I went on to MIT, where I earned 4 degrees across multiple systems of engineering: electrical, mechanical, design, biological. That training led me to invent many other systems for advancing humankind. EchoMail, the world's first intelligent email management system. CytoSolve, a computational biology system for eliminating animal testing to discover new medicines faster, cheaper, and safer. And to the creation of a whole systems methodology for certifying clean food. These innovations led me back on a Fulbright to India, where I discovered the missing link between Eastern medicine and Western systems theory, honoring my grandmother, to develop Your Body, Your System, a powerful tool that will help you understand how your body is a system and how the inputs of food, supplements, and exercise bring your body back to its natural system state. And Systems Health, an integrative educational discipline that is now integrated into the V.A.SHIVA platform that will enable you to learn the science of systems, the science of everything, be it your body as a system or our society and politics as a system, to reveal the foundational interrelationships between truth, freedom, health. Now is a time for you to be the light, learn the science of systems, build community, and weaponize yourself to unleash the activism necessary to deliver truth, freedom, health in your local community. Welcome to V.A.SHIVA.
All right, let's start. So again, welcome to the 7th Clean Food Certification Forum. Today's topic is the case study focusing on Buchi Kombucha's journey to clean and raw. So today's agenda is we will discuss following items. Number one, we'll go over briefly about the International Center for Integrative Systems, which is a nonprofit organization that houses the Clean and Raw Food Certification Program. And we'll go into the details of how Clean and Raw Food Certification came about, what does it contain, what are the requirements, and how does the process work, including the economics. And we'll walk you through some of the examples as well. Next, we'll discuss Buchi Kombucha, which is a kombucha manufacturer out of Asheville, North Carolina, and their journey to clean and raw food certification. And we'll talk about the investment to get certified as well. And then we will wrap things around with how you can support the International Center for Integrative Systems and its many initiatives such as the Clean Raw Food program, as well as some of our research, systems biology research programs that we have going on. So the question is, who benefits from a forum such as this? So this forum is about clean and raw food. It benefits people whoever eats food. That includes people and animals. In fact, in short, everyone should benefit from this forum. In addition to that, food and dietary supplement manufacturers who can get their products certified. Farmers and restaurateurs, this is a new field that we have opened so that farmers can get their products, so to speak, or the produce that comes from the farm, and the restaurants so can get their menu certified clean or certified raw. And also the ingredient suppliers. So these are the suppliers that supply the raw ingredients to the manufacturing industry for food and dietary supplements. They also can benefit from this forum. So we have a broad range of categories or stakeholders that we have certified their products. One of them is the snacks category. So for examples of these are the bars, the nut butter bars, or any energy bars. An example here is Super Pop, a nut butter bar. We have certified beverages such as Buchi Kombucha, which is the spotlight for this forum. It's a kombucha manufacturer. We have also certified several other companies of kombucha, as well as coconut waters, honey producers. So this is a new category that we've been certified since last year or so. Most of our honey manufacturers are currently from New Zealand, where they produce this unique honey to New Zealand that's called Manuka honey. It has been shown to have several health benefits. Dietary supplements, sugar, which is an ingredient that goes into several of the food products. Nut butters such as Arsana, they have several different kinds of nut butters, including almonds, cashews, sunflowers, and so on, and many more. Some of these are partially listed here. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a project of our nonprofit International Center for Integrative Systems. And because of its nonprofit nature, most of our people who work are volunteers, and we really appreciate any donations or any contributions you can make to promote the kind of research and programs that the center is carrying out. So I'll keep a link in the chat at the end of this where you can go and donate. The structure of the center includes a board of directors that oversees an executive director who's responsible for several of the initiatives the center has, including Innovation Corp, Systems Biology Group, and the Clean and Raw program. So Innovation Corp is another nonprofit organization that promotes innovation in high school students the age of 14 to 18. So it helps fund some of the execution of ideas or innovations that the high school students have. And also there's a mentorship program that we provide for these high school students. In the research area, we have a systems biology group that performs systems biology research to understand complex biological phenomena. One of the areas that we have delved deep into is the systems biology of GMO, where we published a series of 5 papers and a book chapter which um, shows the substantial difference between genetically modified crops and their non-genetically modified counterparts. So in this series of papers, we systematically showed uh, what is the uh, what kind of genetic modifications. We took an example of soy. So what kind of genetic modifications were done to the soybean plant, and how did they affect the plant at the molecular level, and those changes that occurred at the molecular level, how are they impacting the outcome in terms of the nutritional characteristics of the plant, and how are they different from their non-GMO counterparts. So the way that we take this approach is first we understand the existing literature on the genetic modification or the plant biology where the genetic modification takes place. So we identified several molecular systems that were affected by the genetic modifications. Once we identified those uh, using the existing literature, we converted those molecular pathways into mathematical models. So that gives us a platform or a lab in lab on a computer where we can conduct experiments uh, to understand what changes have been made and what is the outcome of those changes in terms of the nutritional characteristics of the particular plant. So we publish a series of papers on this. And one of the main findings that we showed was that when you compare the GMO versus the non-GMO organic strains of soy plants, there is a significant difference in at least one of the, I'm showing you one of the parameters, the glutathione levels in these two different variants of soy, the organic and the GMO. So glutathione is a very important molecule for the plant metabolism. It is a potent antioxidant. So if you don't have enough of it, then your body is susceptible for um, infections, immune related issues. Your immune system is knocked down because GSH or glutathione helps with the antioxidant effect that the body has. And that is useful to prevent infections and to prevent any immune attacks. So when we, there are two results that I'm showing here. One is the result for organic, and the other one is for what is called RRS, or the Roundup Ready Soy, which is the genetically modified version of soybeans. And we are measuring the difference between the levels of glutathione expressed as the ratio of glutathione to its reduced form GSSG. So if I can focus your attention to the second line, which is in silico, these are the results that we were able to predict using our understanding of the molecular pathways of the soy plant. What our models predicted was the organic plant had a 9.7 units of the GSSG ratio, whereas the Roundup Ready, or the genetic version, had a much reduced level of GSSG ratio. That is a 3.9. So there was almost a reduction of 250% in the glutathione levels in the genetically modified plant. So that means that much of the genetically modified plant is more susceptible for any infections, or it is uh, inferior to the organic plant. So there's a substantial difference that we're able to show using our systems biology approach between the organic and the GMO counterpart. So this is well and good, but how well these results are um, to the reality. So we're lucky to find a greenhouse experiment that was conducted in UK, which also showed that the organic plants have much more uh, glutathione levels compared to the GMO or genetically modified plants, which is pretty much similar to what we had predicted. So this shows that this not only validates our results, but also establishes the reasons behind why genetically modified plant has lower GSH levels, lower glutathione levels than the organic counterpart. So we have the mechanistic explanation for that. So that's the key contribution of the systems biology approach. So not only we can tell we can validate the observation in nature, but also we can tell why or the reasons behind that observation. So that's some of the work that we do at the systems biology group. And thirdly, we also have the food research program where we came up with the certified raw and certified clean program, which is what we're going to discuss in detail in this presentation today. Again, you can go to the website here and support us, support all the research initiatives that we have ongoing. That really helps us conduct novel research into complex questions using the systems biology approach. So the clean and raw standard, it emerged out of a necessity that arose about 10, 15 years, or almost 12 years now, actually, when uh, the whole raw food industry was one of the emerging industries, almost $250 million. And at that time, uh, Whole Foods was getting concerned about the whole claim of raw products. Uh, there were several companies claiming that their products are raw, but there wasn't any scientific standard or backing that can be used to determine the rawness of a particular product. So, in addition to other stakeholders and Whole Foods, they approached Dr.SHIVA because of his extensive background in formulating standards and his background in systems science. He's a systems scientist trained at MIT, and many of you probably know that he's the inventor of email, which is also like a complex systems problem. He has 4 degrees from MIT, including his biological engineering PhD from the Food and Nutrition Science Department. He has spent a considerable period of his career to develop system solutions using computational health for the complex problems in medicine and health. So he brought his expertise in not only systems biology, but also food and nutrition science to create the certified raw and certified clean standard. So when we initially convened all the stakeholders and asked them what their definition of or what their conception of raw was. Everybody had their own conception. Some people say that just like the elephant and the blind man parable. Some people say the food has to be heated below a certain temperature. Then only it can be termed as raw, or it has to be plant-based or sprouted, and so on. So basically, uh, none of them had a solid understanding or any scientific understanding of what can be termed as raw. So over a period of almost next 9 months, we utilized systems criteria or multi-decision criteria analysis to hone down 3 unique systems criteria called safety, minimally processed, and bioavailability of ingredients to define what can be termed as a raw food. So safety meant that the products are manufactured in a safe environment. That way, the end consumer is his or her health is not affected. and they have to be processed minimally in the sense that they're not exposed to any harsh conditions like the high temperature, high pressure, or any harsh chemical extractions, so that the bioavailability of these the nutrients in these ingredients are still maintained at the end of manufacturing process. So we use these three criteria and wrap them into the certified ROS R.A.W standard. So the acronym stands for real, alive, and whole, and each of these words has a list of criteria that the product has to satisfy before it can get the seal. The way that the standard works is that you get a total score of 100 points, and you have to have 80 or above to get the seal. So I'll go through each of these criteria one by one, um, so that you have an understanding of what the process is like. So for the real criteria, the total score is 50, and it has conditions for safety and non-GMO. This is a mandatory criteria, meaning the processing of the ingredients to create the final product have to be done in a safe environment using safe ingredients. And the ingredients have to be non-GMO. So this is something that emerged out of the consensus. Everybody wanted that the processing has to be safe and the ingredient had to be non-GMO. So if your product does not meet these two standards, then you get a score of 0, and you're automatically disqualified from the certification process. And if your product satisfies only one of these conditions, then you get a score of 25, and you get a score of 50 if you are uh, fulfilling the standards for both safety and non-GMO. Secondly, the alive criteria, where we analyze the bioavailability of the product, and the score, the maximum score for this criteria is 20, and it's a sliding scale. So depending on how many of the ingredients are quote unquote alive at the end of the process, you will get a score. So for example, 80% of the ingredients made it through the processing, then you get a score of 80% of 20, that is 16, and so on. So I have an example here that shows how exactly we calculate the availability of the particular product. So as an example of Brad's Raw Crunchy Kale, one of the earliest products that we certified. So once we start the process, we acquire the information about the ingredients, the weight percentage, and the processing steps that the manufacturer takes to create the final product. So we feed this information to our bioinformatics tool, CytoSolve, which is which basically analyzes these ingredients using the existing scientific literature to understand their composition, um, nutritional composition at the molecular level. And we select top 3 to 4 of those nutritional molecules for each ingredient for our further calculation. So for example, kale has vitamin C, beta carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin as the top 4 molecules that appear from the weight percentage criteria to be the most prevalent molecules in kale. So in addition to this, we also identify at what temperature these molecules will denature. That means they will be destroyed by heating these molecules. So once we have that information, we can calculate based on the processing and the time of the time of for which these ingredients are heated, how many of these ingredients actually make it through the process, and this calculation gives us a score at the end of this process. So we get a curve like this, which is a function of processing temperature on the x-axis and the bioavailability on the y-axis. So for this particular product, if you look at the graph, the bioavailability remained pretty close to 100%. That means all of the molecules stayed active at the end of the process if the temperature was 120. As it increased further, came down slightly, but it held there about 83%, so from 120 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And then as we heat the product beyond that temperature, it further decreased, and it went below 60%. So this is the kind of analysis, scientific, nuanced analysis that we're able to provide when we're talking about the bioavailability of the nutrients in a particular product, in contrast to what people used to believe, that religiously believe, if I may say so, before that, beyond, if you heat a product beyond 120 degree Fahrenheit, then everything is dead. Using this kind of analysis, brands actually were able to improve their product output, because even at 120, they were heating it at 120, but we found that even at 140, there was no change in the bioavailability. So they can actually increase the temperature, thereby increasing the output of their production facility. So that's the bioavailability criteria. And as I mentioned, CytoSolve is the bioinformatics engine, which is not only used for understanding the bioavailability, but also creating nutraceuticals from natural ingredients. So I'll give you a brief example here of how we do that. So we have recently created a product from these natural ingredients. So these are some of the natural ingredients, such as parsley, grapefruit, bitter orange, celeriac, spinach, and lime, contain something called apigenin and hesperidin, two really potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant bioflavonoids, which have been shown to have so many health benefits. So we use CytoSolve to actually drive down the whole natural ingredient to nutraceutical process. And the first step was, again, to understand the composition of these ingredients, like we did for the bioavailability calculations, extract the molecular information, extract the molecular pathways, and for the health benefits, in this case, joint pain, convert those molecular pathways into mathematical models, and test the ingredients, their efficacy on these mathematical models. So we identified 4 different molecular pathways that are involved in what we call joint health. The joint health is combined of several molecular pathways that include arachidonic acid metabolism, which is the inflammatory pathway, oxidative stress, which is linked with the soreness that you feel, COX-2 synthesis, again, another anti-inflammatory pathway, and PG2 signaling, which is related to the sensation of pain. So each of these pathways have what is called a biomarker. So the biomarker for arachidonic acid is PGE2. Oxidative stress has the active oxygen species, peroxide and H2O2. COX-2 is the biomarker for COX-2 synthesis, and TRPV1 and CGRP are the pain biomarkers. So what we did was, once we built these models, we studied the effects of hesperidin and apigenin on these 5 biomarkers of pain and inflammation to see whether they're actually able to reduce these levels, thereby affecting the whole joint health. So we successfully completed the formulation, and we actually also were able to patent this formulation that actually reduced these 5 biomarkers in a synergistic manner. That means the sum of these 2 is greater than the individual one. That means if the effect of individual molecule, if you add the effects of individual molecules, it is less than if you combine them together and have a synergy and synergistically reduce all these 5 biomarkers of joint health. So again, this is our first product. We have since then come up with several other products that can purchase at our VA.SHIVA shop. Coming back to the certified raw and clean, the last criteria is whole. It has a score that ranges from 0 to 30. And it has the criteria for organic and nutrient density. Organic has a score of 0 to 20, and nutrient density making up the rest of the 10 points. So organic, we kept it as a sliding scale and not a mandatory criteria like the non-GMO, because some of the ingredients that the people at that time were using were from either they were sourced from sea or wildcrafted ingredients, which did not fall under the purview of USDA's organic standards. So even though these people were going in the right directions, we didn't want to penalize them by discounting the fact that they don't have organic certification because it didn't exist. So that's why we have the sliding scale for organic criteria. So again, the total score for this criteria is 30. And nutrient density is calculated based on the Andy score, which is determined by the nutrient density of each of these ingredients that whole food puts out. So that's the certified raw. Again, for the eligibility, you have to score 80 or above. So this was completed about almost 10 years ago now. And when we unveiled the standard at the Expo West, which at an event sponsored by Whole Foods, we got a great reception. And what people said was that what we have done here is not only define what can be termed as certified raw, but also good, clean, and ethical food. And some of the manufacturers at the time were branching out into mainstream retailers such as Walmart and Costco, where not everybody was familiar with the raw food movement, and they may associate the word raw with something not safe. So they wanted us to come up with an alternate standard. That's why we came up with certified clean. So the scoring and the criteria is similar as that of certified raw. The only difference being that the temperature at which your ingredients can be exposed to. For certified raw, you cannot expose your ingredients beyond 212 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Celsius, which is the boiling point of water. But for certified clean, as long as you satisfy all these conditions, temperature is not a limiting or a factor for the eligibility. As long as you get 80 or above as a score, you are eligible for the certified clean label. So this gives people a marketing option where they can sell their products either at the health food stores where you can use certified raw, or at mainstream retailers where you can use certified clean. So again, this is a project of our center, and I would encourage you to visit the website and donate so that we can pursue these research projects. So this brings us to the today's case study, Buchi Kombucha. Buchi Kombucha is a kombucha manufacturer from Asheville, North Carolina. It's a community-centered, women-founded, and values-driven company that was founded in 2008. They produce high-quality beverages, including kombuchas, that are not only healthy, but also all natural and, importantly, gut-friendly. They have been certified clean and raw since 2018. So their mission is mindful nutrition. Their purpose is to craft delicious, high-quality functional beverages and invest in the regeneration of our planet, use business as a conduit for positive social impact. And their sourcing is also with intention. So they source the ingredient. They source only the ingredients that meet the robust third-party social and environmental criteria. So they're also mindful about how they're sourcing their ingredients, what goes into their products. So their journey to clean and raw. How did they perform on our scale? So in the real criteria, so they had ticked all the boxes about the manufacturing facility safety. They had HACCP protocols, and all the ingredients were non-GMO. So they got the 25 points for safety, 25 points for the non-GMO ingredients, and they scored the perfect score of 50 for the real criteria. For the alive criteria, their score was 18. So here they missed 2 points because some of the ingredients were lost because they had to heat the tea to extract the beneficial compounds from the tea. So that's the score for their alive criteria. Next, their whole criteria. So their organic criteria was 20 because they used organic ingredients. All of their ingredients were organic, and their nutrient density also was 10 out of 10 because they used nutritionally dense ingredients. So they got a total score of 30. So their product, the ginger product, received a total score of 98, receiving the label of certified clean and raw. So in summary, they have been certified raw and certified clean since 2018. They met the real criteria with a top score of 50, producing the products in a safe environment with non-GMO ingredients. They had a really high bioavailability of 92%, and their whole criteria was also top score 30, which they achieved by incorporating highly nutrient-dense organic ingredients in the products. All right, so that's the summary of the Buchi Kombucha journey. And the economics of the certification. So this is again something that we have developed in collaboration with our stakeholders. We are this is a nonprofit organization. Our motive is not to make money, but to create awareness and create a movement for clean and ethically done food. So we use a curve that is a function of revenue scale of the particular company. This is a yearly revenue. So if you are on the lower side of the revenue scale, your factor is smaller, so your investment is smaller side. And on the higher side of the revenue scale, you pay a little bit more, although not exponentially more, but in fact, scaled down version of more if you have the higher revenue. There are 4 parameters that we use to estimate the investment. One of them is the number of manufacturing sites, total number of products that you're interested in manufacturing or getting certified, the unique ingredients across those products. And by unique ingredients, I mean, let's say you have 2 products. One has cashews and chocolate, and the second one has almonds and chocolate. The total unique ingredients would be 3: cashews, almonds, and chocolate. So we won't be double charging for the same ingredient, even though it appears in multiple products. And lastly, the revenue of the company, yearly revenue of the company. So if let's say we have 1 manufacturing sites, 2 products, and let's say 5 unique ingredients, and the revenue is on the lower side, if it is 10,000 for a startup company, then the certification investment for both the certificates would be $73 per product. And if you just want to go for 1 certificate, then it's close to $60 per product. And if you increase this revenue to, let's say, 10 million, it will have a higher investment, but it's not exponentially higher. So it goes up to 606 for the same amount of products and ingredients, 606 per product for both certifications, and 485 for just one of the certificates. That's the economics of certification. So next, as I mentioned, this is a growing movement, and we would really appreciate your help. And here are some of the ways that you can help us. One of the ways, as I've mentioned before, is to donate to the International Center for Integrative Systems to help us carry out the breakthrough research in the systems approach that we are doing. That includes the systems biology of GMO, developing new and cutting-edge standards such as clean and raw, and so on. You can also, if you are a manufacturer, food and nutraceutical manufacturer, you can get your products certified using clean and raw food certification. You can refer manufacturers to us by becoming an affiliate, and also buy CytoSolve products. CytoSolve donates its technology and resources for the clean and raw food project, so that way you can support CytoSolve as well. You can fund research on CytoSolve and on integrative systems center. You can also join Freedom Health Movement. So I will put the links at the end of the call of where to donate for the International Center for Integrative Systems. You can also buy our merchandise. We have T-shirts on the shop. I'll put some links for that as well. Use this link to schedule a meeting with us where we can help you understand how you can get your product certified. I'll put this link in the chat as well. You can become affiliate programs. You can use the same link to set up a meeting You can introduce us to different manufacturers, or you can um, get your own product certified. You can set up a meeting using this link. CytoSolve products, as I briefly mentioned, we have the MV25. That's for joint support. It is available on the VA Shiva shop. I will put the link for that. And we also have another product that's for whole health of your pet called Canine 701. And we recently have launched a series of healthy teas. These are the herbal teas that you can purchase on our website. So you can buy the packages, the whole pack of 7 teas, or individual packages depending on what your needs are. So for joint health, we have tea for digestion, respiratory health, sleep and mood, tranquility, detoxification, femininity, which is for feminine health, women's health, and immune health as well. So some of you may be familiar. We have a systems health program, which has a tool called Your Body, Your System. I'll put a link for that. So you can actually identify your natural state and how you are deviating from your natural state, which is causing some issues for you. And you can, based on the deviation, whether it is in your Vata or transport system, how you can come back from that deviation to your original state by using some of these teas. So I'll put the links for the YBFIS as well as the these different teas and how you can choose a tea that is good for you. And you can also find our research on CytoSolve Open Science Institute. So this is another nonprofit that we have. Dr.SHIVA has always been a proponent of indigenous medicine, which is dedicated to fight against racism, and a proponent of indigenous medicine. One of the main motivation for Dr.SHIVA in developing CytoSolve was to end the animal testing, and even NIH and FDA are also coming to that same realization that we don't really need animal testing anymore. It's a waste of time. To support this kind of research that we do at CytoSolve, which promotes the elimination of animal testing. And also, this is the type of research, the systems-based research that we do at CytoSolve, which destroys the incestuous web of science, which is destroying the collusion in science among big government, big academia, big pharma, and big publishers, which hinders the true progress in science. And this is where you can fund us. I'll put this link in the chat as well. There are several initiatives that we have, such as lung and respiratory health, which you can either choose to contribute to a particular initiative, or you can just donate to the whole research program. This is how you can select which program you want to donate to. You get, even if you just register there, you will still get a lot of useful information, some courses, online courses, different activism cards that you can print out and distribute to your friends and neighbors to encourage them to join the movement. For one of the membership levels is if you donate $25, you become what's called a supporter. You get several gifts, about 6 different gifts if you join at a supporter level, and you can become a warrior scholar by getting a course on foundation of systems, and you're also entitled to about I think 15 different gifts that you can utilize and share with your friends and family. Again, before I conclude, please go to integrativesystems.org/contribute to donate to Integrative Center to help us continue this kind of novel research. And you can also join Truth, Freedom, and Health movement. Join us every Thursday at 11 a.m. And 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the open house and orientation to the Truth, Freedom, and Health movement. From the systems health side, we have a tutorial schedule on the Fridays at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Please join us. you will understand what the Systems Health program is about and what kind of solutions that we have for you. And again, I will end with these three important pillars of our Truth, Freedom, Health movement: think, fight, and heal. And these are the unique solutions that we, as a movement, provide for Truth, Freedom, and Health. We have the Leadership Training Institute, the Health Educator Institute from VA/SHIVA Systems Health, and Open Science Institute from CytoSolve. So thank you. And we have also a program for citizen food inspections. I'll put this link at the in the chat, where if you're interested in joining it, you can schedule a time and we can talk about the details of it. And with that, we'll open the discussion for question and answers. All right. Thank you for joining today. And I will close the session.